Wait, where should we be looking? Just normal lang na ganun. We should look at the camera, diba? It's gonna be awkward.
Normally, but when we're talking.
Tsaka we shouldn't look at the screen because that's kind of weird.
Yeah. Hey man, welcome to the Worn Well. I have here someone very important and very friendly. So, Sam,
Hi.
who are you and what do you do?
Cool. Okay, my name is Sal. Sal Malcapara. I am the co-founder, along with you, of SNK ATK Design Lab, and I'm also the principal designer.
Oh, interesting. What's a principal designer?
Basically, I draw the things that we try to make into clothes.
Alright, man. Today I'm gonna be interviewing Sam. He's my best friend, my best man at my wedding. And I just wanted to talk to him, discuss a few things over a few drinks that we made, and find out like what does a designer do, what does a business owner in the fashion and clothing space do, and find out his thoughts. Maybe he has advice for you guys, although take it with a grain of salt.
With a huge grain of salt.
So what are you wearing today?
Oh, okay. Today I'm wearing something pretty simple. Of course, I gotta rep the SNK ATK. I'm wearing our Noragi version 2, one of the first things that we ever designed. And then I'm wearing a mock neck from Uniformity, Rain Dilution Mole system pants, which is a very acronym silhouette. And I'm wearing the OG acronym Air Force One downtowns. I had the olive ones, the black and olive ones, and then I really wasn't feeling those. And then I finally found some in my size after maybe 5 years of searching. So yeah. Well, for me, I always have this dilemma because I'm always trying to move towards minimalism. But that's the key. I keep moving towards it, and then I keep getting distracted by all this cool stuff that's coming out.
All the stuff I share.
All the stuff that you poison me with. So, but I guess if it's comfy and it's not too fussy and it fits within my wardrobe, which is 90% black, then yeah, it's a win-win for me. I tend to go for stuff that has a certain sort of cyberpunk ninja-ish sort of deal.
So we started a clothing brand, SNK ATK Design Lab.
Worst decision ever.
Debatable.
but also the best.
Why did we do it?
Well, if I recall correctly, we were just sitting around and it was years ago, and we were watching old vids from acronym, and we were saying man, if we could only afford these things, we'd look so cool. All the kids would think we'd be cool. But Techwear was and still is remains unreachable for a lot of people, and it still is unreachable for many these days.
Yeah.
So we thought, let's just try to make our own. Can't be that hard.
It shouldn't be that hard.
Shouldn't be that hard.
But it is.
Okay, so we went into this totally blind. We went into this totally self-taught.
Yeah.
Right? We knew nothing about we knew nothing about running a
Don't
fashion
tell
business.
people.
No, it's true though. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, right? But I know what looks good. I know what other people looks good. And apart from that, I know what it takes for something to look good. But the mechanisms that we have locally just aren't there yet, which is why there's a disconnect between what you think looks good on paper, what you think looks good in a 3D model or simulation, and what local producers are actually able to execute. What fashion is to make you look good and feel good. So it's always chasing that cool factor. What's cool for me? I have to be real with what I design. It has to look good for me. And if someone also thinks that it looks cool for them and they decide to wear it, then that's great. If it's not for them, then it's fine. There always has to be some emotion behind it. I'm not designing a clinical piece. I'm not parang I'm not designing it to be the best at it. I'm trying to make the person who puts it on be their best self. Like fashion is our chance to mold how the world sees us in some way. And if I can make that person who wears our stuff feel good and look cool, and or at least think they look cool, then I think we've done our job.
When it comes to style, there's oftentimes a fear of being called out or like wearing drop crotch pants, wearing a noragi, a kimono like this. People feel that, oh, I'm not too cool to wear this, I'm too skinny, I'm too fat.
If you're not feeling it, don't wear it, right? But at the same time, also consider that you are your own worst critic. Right? When we talk about critics, we always talk about the external people who might call you out and might say that you're too fat to wear that, or you're too old to wear that, or it's not really your style. Screw them and listen to your own inner critic. If it makes you feel good, if it makes you look good, then who else is there to say no?
Why not?
Why not?
For more content like this, like, watch, and subscribe. For more videos like this, more interviews with this guy, if you want to see his face in my videos more. Now we're gonna talk about some burning questions from the Techwear Philippines group. What are their questions, or what are their hot takes? We'll try to tackle them here, give our opinions on it. Take note, we're not the experts. These are just two drunk guys trying to answer a few questions.
Don't listen to us.
Question from Jose Caedo.
Jose.
What would you say is a techwear and beachwear combo that is possible and would look good? Or are the two words even compatible at all?
First reaction would say no, right? But I think techwear and beachwear, like, you don't really necessarily have to mix them both. The easy answer would be to say some sort of waterproof pack where you can keep all your electronics in. Shout out to, oh my god, I forgot the name.
Oh, the BitPlay bag. Yeah, you're drunk.
Shout out to BitPlay. Your bag looks really awesome.
From Mario Samuel De Leon. What is not techwear? And what are the key components of a techwear lifestyle beyond clothes and accessories?
That's an interesting way to phrase that question. What is not techwear? Because the usual way to phrase that is this techwear, or what is techwear? Right? So what is not techwear to you?
Something that is not techwear doesn't really help you in your daily performance. Maybe wearing something so tight when you have to move a lot is not techwear. Wearing Gore-Tex when it's 40 degrees outside is not techwear.
That's not techwear. You're wearing a technical piece, but that's not techwear. The core of techwear is a balance of aesthetics and function, and wearing the right piece of clothing, carrying the right gear for the operational environment.
What about the second question?
Can't really talk about techwear as a lifestyle.
Is it a lifestyle?
I hope not. I mean, I don't want my lifestyle to be defined by what I wear. You understand, right? I like a lot of stuff that you don't consider techwear, and I don't identify my lifestyle as being techwear. So I don't think techwear should be a lifestyle. All right, this next question is from Ian Carlo Bundok. Is techwear only limited to the specific brands that call themselves as such, acronym, Orbit Gear, etc.? Or would you consider the more technical ventures of, say, designer brands and lesser known outdoorsy brands? This is a good question. Acronym, Orbit Gear, they don't call themselves as techwear. Techwear is a community-generated name.
Yeah.
Right? Nowhere on Acronym's page or Acronym's marketing materials, the very little of it, do they call themselves techwear.
That's true.
Nowhere on Orbit Gear's page do they call themselves techwear. But techwear is more about the outfit and how you put it together, I feel.
Yeah.
It's more about the niche that the people who sort of dress a certain way belong to. to answer that question, I think what we want to say about that is it's not limited to specific brands.
To me, it doesn't have to be limited to certain brands. So that would be boring.
If something is of a technical nature and you're able to incorporate it into your outfit that makes you look a certain way, then there aren't any hard and fast rules for Techwear. Unless you want to go into the higher echelons of being really purist, like, oh, this brand is Techwear, this brand is not. Do Techwear outfits always have to incorporate some form of water repellent fabric?
No.
Easy answer, no.
Easy answer.
Again, Techwear is always about wearing what's right for your operational environment.
It's in the name, technical. It has to be functional. And if you're wearing a Gore-Tex shell, a puffer jacket in the desert, you're not actually functioning properly.
You're gonna die.
From our good friend Rafael De Leon, shout out to Ramen Raf on YouTube. Is Gore-Tex overrated?
Hell no! I love Gore-Tex.
It does what it's supposed to do, and it's expensive. There's a reason why it is.
And there's a reason why it's the gold standard.
And then we have a hot take from Vince from Techwear PH, one of our more expert members, I would say.
I would say very expert and very outspoken.
So this is what he said. Techwear is meant to end up having uniformity, and it's also what makes it look badass. I see people complain about how Techwear lacks creativity or diversity when they forget the fact that Techwear is primarily function over aesthetics. You can't force a design to look like a certain way if it defeats the function.
That's true.
If your design is to serve a function, you can only do so much with how it will look like without making it look gimmicky.
Okay, gimmicky. Yeah.
Also, people who complain about Techwear's uniformity always post uniform fits. So it's kind of hypocritical.
Lamau. Alright. I'd have to disagree with you that Techwear is meant to end up having uniformity. So that first part of that, I have to disagree. And is also what makes it look badass. I agree with the badass part. I think the uniformity comes from a place where you can only have threshold until a design becomes too gimmicky for its own good. But I don't think it has to be about uniformity. I think there should be a box. Every fashion subgenre has to have a box where it can play in, right? And if you do venture outside that box, it has to be a thoughtful disruption, right? And you can still venture outside the box and still be considered Techwear. For example, there's street tech, right? And there's more what people would call costumey wear.
To a certain extent, yes, it has to have a function. By definition, Techwear has to be technical. But if we limit ourselves to certain templates and designs that no one can break, then I'm afraid Techwear as a subgenre will die out fast. Maybe not in a few years, but maybe in 10 years it will be gone. Because there's no room to experiment.
There's no room for innovation. There's no
Exactly.
room for self-expression.
Yeah.
You're building yourself a walled garden and you're limiting the things that you can plant in it.
Yeah. And I think what we're forgetting in this hot take is we're forgetting the fashion part of it. Fashion is self-expression. And if you can't express yourself without adhering to certain rules set by an arbitrary set of people, then it's not really fashion anymore.
That boils down to the balance of function and aesthetics in Techwear. You can't say function over form. There always has to be a balance because it's fashion at the end of the day.
So we answered your questions. We did a Q&A with some very interesting answers. We got quite drunk. We haven't eaten. Anything you want to plug before, aside from that bottle, anything you want to plug before we end this?
Please follow us on at sneak.attack on Instagram. We'll be coming out with a main collection very soon. This is, again, like I said, this is a pivot back to our roots. We'll be working hard on the designs and on the materials and the fabric that we use to really give our past and new customers some affordable options to get into this very fascinating subgenre of Techwear and technical clothing. And of course, I'd like to plug this guy whose channel I'm on. Please subscribe to his channel, The Worn Well, and like and share and everything and all that. And yeah, over to you.
Yeah. So that's it. Let me know if you like this format. I could do a few more Q&As with some pretty interesting people. Leave a comment below and see you next time. This has been The Worn Well.